Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Wichita, Kansas of 1875, there was one subject more deadly than the raids of outlaws or the gunfights between cowhands. Should women be allowed to vote? Yes, we smile now, but this was a controversy which erupted in violence along the frontier. And when the women's suffrage movement hit Wichita like a tornado, Marshal Wyatt Earp found himself caught between the two warring factions, with his life and his job at stake.
I'm going to tear that sign down. Yeah, go on.
Oh, let's break it up. We're both under arrest.
What are you arresting me for, Marshal?
Takes two to make a fight, Mr. Donovan.
Well, we don't want no suffragette from Wyoming telling us folks in Kansas what to do.
I'm from Wyoming. We gave him the vote 5 years ago, and it ain't done no harm.
Break it up. Oh, he take him to jail. I got it.
And the rest of you break it up.
My boss's wife is a suffragette.
Well, she ain't right bright.
Who are you calling? That told you to break it up. Now, hold it.
He says he's going to roust that lady speaker as soon as she leaves the depot.
Thanks. I better go on down there.
Well, I told you to hold it. Now, you walk with me until you cool off.
Well, there ought to be a law against these...
Bring it up in the next Congress.
I'm ashamed to say this, Miss Laramie, but you're invading enemy country.
Oh, that's not unusual for me, Mr. Murdock. Why, I've even had eggs thrown at me several times.
We have rough ways in Wichita.
Rough? Why, you publish the best paper west of Kansas City.
Thank you, ma'am.
And that darling wife of yours. I know it was brave of her to invite me to speak, but there won't be any trouble, I'm sure.
Well, this is my office, Miss Laramie.
Sorry, Mr. Murdock, it's as far as she goes.
Jim, what is this?
We're not going to hurt Miss Laramie. Just make sure she gets back on the next train.
You men must be drunk or crazy.
Oh! All right, don't try anything. Get off your horses.
Nice timing, Wyatt.
That poor man, you killed him.
No. He's just groggy. This is Mr. Earp, our town marshal. In all the gunfights and melees he's had to go through, he's never once seriously hurt or killed a man.
Ollie, you and Paul take him on over to jail. I better go on over to the hotel with you.
Yes, I think you have.
No. You take my things on over to the hotel, Mr. Murdock. I'm going to the jail.
Jail?
Why, yes. I have to help those poor cowhands. And I want to talk to you, Mr. Earp.
Oh?
Miss Laramie is our guest, Wyatt. She has the freedom of the town. I'll bring Mrs. Murdock over to the hotel later.
Thank you. Jails don't shock me. And please don't offer me your arm. And I can't quite follow your reasoning, Mr. Earp. Those men are simply misguided. Why keep them in jail?
Attempted abduction, wearing guns within the city limits.
Well, won't you let me sign bond for them?
That's up to the judge. Now, won't you please sit down? Look, Miss Laramie, woman's suffrage is a political controversy. It's not my job to take sides. I'm hired to keep order.
Oh, a wishy-washy neutral.
No, I'm a peace officer. I stop fights and try to prevent cowhands from interfering with you. Now, as to this meeting of yours tonight.
Yes?
It may start a riot. I think you ought to change the place of the meeting and hold it on the other side of town.
Oh, that's nonsense. Wichita is a civilized town.
Wyatt! Wyatt, there's a big free-for-all down at Keno Corner. You better hurry.
Guns?
No, just fist-fighting, Ollie says, but it could turn into a gunfight.
Yeah. Well, as you say, Miss Laramie, Wichita is a civilized town. I'll see you later.
Come on now, cut it out. What's the matter with you guys?
Break it up! The next
time I catch any of you fighting like this, you're going to spend 5 days in jail. Now go on, break it up. Go on.
You favor votes for women?
Not at the moment. How do you stand, Wyatt?
I'm lucky I'm standing at all. Some one person started that uproar out there.
Yes, I think Senator Mike Teague has passed the word.
Teague, when did he get back?
Last night. I begged my wife not to hold that meeting downtown.
Is the senator feeling that much against voting for women?
If women had the vote in Kansas, Mike wouldn't last long as a politician. Crusty, middle-aged bachelor.
His boys could start a riot.
Sure. I told Mrs. Murdock. You know what her reply was? She said, we hire men to keep order. If anything happens at the music hall, it'll be your fault.
Oh, that's nice.
Did you speak to Miss Laramie about moving the rally?
I did. No luck. Now I'll go have a talk with the other side of the argument, Mike Teague. Hey, cheer up. What do you got to be so sad about?
I have to write an editorial on women's suffrage.
I thought being marshal of Wichita was tough. Good luck.
And I think I may honestly say, I have too much respect for the ladies. May heaven always bless them, to have their pure natures trapped in the pit of politics.
Amen, Senator. You know, I read in the Kansas City Star that the strain of voting would be bad for their health. Now, what do you think of that, Senator?
A very important point. Who'd want his mother, his sister, or his wife jostling among men for a place at the polls on election day? We put our women on a pedestal. Why, gentlemen, if we force them to vote, they'll be running for office next.
Impossible, sir.
No, sir, not impossible. And what would happen to the law with women on juries and women judges? Oh, and speaking of the law, here's my good friend, Marshal Earp. Excuse me, gentlemen. Well, Wyatt, how are you?
I'm in good health, Senator, but there seems to be an epidemic of broken heads around.
Oh, you mean this suffragette business? A nasty bad thing.
Well, I'd kind of like to talk to you about it.
Well, certainly. Shall we rest ourselves, Wyatt?
Why don't we go in the back room?
Of course. Good idea. Oh. Give all the boys a drink. On the senator.
Now, look, it's my job to head off any more trouble before it gets started. The Douglas Avenue crowd would listen to you, Senator. It'd be a big help if you asked the boys to cool off. What do you say?
Wyatt, you've made a great record here. I'm proud of what you've done for Wichita.
But you won't call off the rough stuff, huh?
Oh, let's not put it that way.
Well, how would you put it?
I think she's after starting a riot so she can be a martyr. That's the way they put it over in Wyoming. Oh, you're one of the Lord's innocents when it comes to politics, Wyatt. The Laramie woman is a female John Brown. This is a police matter involving the public safety. I think you should close the music hall.
What good would that do? They just hold their meeting out in the street.
Then arrest the woman and escort her to the first train.
Are you that afraid of it?
What?
Look, the females have been voting in Wyoming for several years. They got one of the best territorial governments I know about.
Miss Laramie has made a quick convert.
No, sir. But I've made a quick discovery. It isn't just political conscience that bothers you. You're afraid of women. And the way they may vote. You've been waiting here all this time?
Yes. Your men brought in a dozen more cowhands. Some of them have been brutally treated.
Well, we didn't do it. They got bruised up fighting among themselves.
Well, I must take your word for that. I don't suppose you'll release them without fines.
It's up to the judge.
Here's $500. Can I post this? If it comes to more, you could let me know at the hotel.
All right. You want me to let the newspaper know about it?
It might help our cause.
Mm-hmm. I just had a talk with Senator Teague.
Oh, him.
Well, you know the senator.
By reputation. He's one of our worst enemies in Kansas.
I also had a talk with Mr. Murdock. We both think that you ought to hold tonight's meeting on the other side of town.
No.
All right, then maybe I can put on enough special deputies to protect you.
I don't want police protection.
That's for me to decide, not you.
Oh, I found you out at last, Marshal Earp. You're against us.
Wait a minute, Miss Laramie. All the women I know believe in equal rights.
Indeed.
But they realize it's going to be a long fight. Now, you think you had a real tussle in Wyoming. Well, the men outnumber the women 8-1 there. The politicians gave you that vote.
Oh, no, we won it.
Only because the men figured that your vote wouldn't amount to anything. Soon there'll be as many women as there are men in Kansas. It's a different deal here. If you don't stop behaving like a fool, you're going to set your cause back years and years.
And how should I behave?
Like a woman. Ollie, in a half hour, I want you and Paul are going over to the music hall. Watch that front door. Frisk every man for guns, rocks, and rotten eggs. I'll have the special deputies inside and on the back door. They'll all be carrying guns inside their coat.
Oh, hi, Mr. Murdock.
Ollie.
Got to talk to you, Wyatt.
Look, the special deputies will be here any minute. Why don't you go outside and meet them?
Okay.
Right. Any trouble starts, I want you to know who they are.
Right. Yes, sir.
You don't look too happy. What's wrong?
That Laramie woman. She's talked the mayor into calling off your plans.
What?
They were ashamed to hand you this. I do all the dirty work. No police protection, just 2 officers outside the music hall.
Well, Jim Hope's the boss.
I'm sorry, Wyatt. They'll all be sorry long before that meeting's over.
It'll be too late. Maybe I could say I never got this order.
Whoa, now, Wyatt.
Worst thing you can do is fire me.
Well, we could both be wrong. What if nothing happens at all? We can't afford to rile up the mayor.
Well, maybe you're right. I'm gonna still keep my deputies close by. Any trouble starts so we can get there in time. Maybe.
The next thing you know, they'll be going into the saloon and buying catch my wife. Stay in there, you. Why don't you go? What's the matter with you?
All I said was it'd be all right for Texas women to vote.
And I say Alabama women can vote. They have as much sense as Texas women.
Don't you say nothing about Texas women.
That's right.
All I got to say to you is...
Oh, so...
Get in there. Get in there.
Oh,
no.
Hey,
just a minute.
hold it, Red.
Why, here, hold it yourself. Just a minute, Red. Hold it. Hold it. Why, you hold it.
Save your strength for inside.
All
Now
right.
Go on in.
All right.
All right. Ain't even have any fun.
Senator?
Just a little argument, Wyatt. No harm done.
What was that remark I heard you make about saving strength for inside?
You misunderstood me. What I said...
My hearing's right good, Senator. I asked you to keep your crowd in order. You better do it.
Are you threatening me?
You can call it anything you want. But if there is any trouble, you're going to go to jail along with the rest of them.
You're working awfully hard to lose a good job.
Please, ladies and gentlemen, may I present Miss Joan Laramie, the Joan of Arc from Wyoming. Miss Laramie.
Please. I am not a monster. I haven't come here to put the people of Wichita in a dungeon. I have come to ask that you set free 1/2 of your own people who are now in chains. Yes, in chains. The women of Kansas are not free. No woman in this republic is free until she has the right to vote. I repeat, no woman is free until she has the right to vote.
Over to Doc for Brake's office. All right, there's a couple of men in there who need medical attention.
I know it. I'll send some men over.
Hold still, blast you. By rights, I ought to saw your leg off.
Why, Doc? Which side you on?
Neither one. I believe in taking the votes away from everybody until they prove they got the brains that the good Lord gave a goose. Huh? Stay outside. I got enough in here already.
Bleeding pretty bad, Doc.
Sit down and wait your turn.
Why, Doc, you know me.
Sit down and shut up. There's a man over here's got a slug in his chest. Up on the table, Sonny. Easy now.
Oh, Senator Teague?
Yes? Oh, it's Miss Laramie.
Oh, please don't try to get up. I heard you've been injured. Is it very bad?
The ministering angel.
Let me see. Oh, doctor.
You wait your turn.
I will not.
Give me a hand, boy. Just hold his shoulder. It's a big wound. Very dangerous.
Oh, doctor, this won't do. He needs some stitches.
All right, sister. Why don't you go and find a needle and a thimble?
Doctor, I am Joan Laramie, and this is Senator Teague.
Yes, I know all about it. And a fine howdy-do you both started. Before you know it, they'll be bringing Wyatt in here dead. Let the senator bleed.
I'll be all right.
Well, a bandage is better than a handkerchief. Is it true that your people started the riot?
Well, now,
Don't lie to her, Mike.
He doesn't have to lie to me. I've made friends of some of my bitterest political enemies.
I hold to my opinion.
Politics. Talk. That's all you keep doing. While I'm over here working, trying to patch these people up, fixing the voters so they can go to the polls. Hey, it's getting quiet outside. Let me see that wound. You don't need any stitches. Get out of here, both of you. I got men out in that waiting room that need knife and bullet work. Don't tell me they missed you.
I was lucky. Senator, can you walk to jail?
You're not arresting me.
That's right. Come on.
Why,
You better come, too.
We're both under arrest?
That's right.
On what charge, might I ask?
Inciting to riot.
You're right, Wyatt. The senator just the same as admitted that his crowd started the trouble.
There's a dead man over at the Texas Hotel bar. Come on. Persecution.
Persecution. Politics. Oh, every day it's something new. Talk. Politics. How was he coming now? Oh, boy. Politics.
Wally? Yes, sir. These two people will be staying with us until I talk to the judge.
You can't get away with this, Wyatt.
That's for the judge to decide.
After you're fired, my friends may hurt you.
Well, thank you for warning me, Senator. If you'd like to use my desk to write another speech, go right ahead.
No, thank you.
Keep the door locked behind me. Yes, sir.
Like some water?
Yes. Not in that. That fellow Earp deserves to be fired.
He will be.
But, Senator, you said your friends would hurt him. You didn't mean that.
I can't control my friends.
But the mayor will release us, and the judge will discharge Mr. Earp. Isn't that enough?
You started this thing.
I did nothing of the sort. I came here to make a speech.
on a bitterly controversial matter.
But your friends started the fighting.
I don't admit that.
Well, it's true, and fortunately can be proven. Sorry I tried to make friends with a hoodlum like you.
Calling names now.
I've said all I'm going to say.
Good.
This time you may have lost your temper and used bad judgment. I can't understand why you arrested Teague and Miss Laramie. You can't prove incitement to riot against either of them.
That's what they did, Judge.
I agree with Wyatt. Did Miss Laramie incite the audience to use force?
No, sir.
Have you any witnesses that will swear that Teague ordered his crowd to break up the meeting?
No, sir.
All right. Then you'd better release them at once and apologize.
I'll apologize to Miss Laramie.
That will not satisfy Teague. And he's a state senator from this district.
I don't care who he is.
Now, Wyatt.
Look, there was a man killed tonight and a lot of others were hurt. Now, if you and the mayor want me to resign, all right, but he gets no apology.
I advise you to reconsider.
Wyatt, there's been enough trouble already.
No, let's go all the way. I quit.
Now, Wyatt, now wait a minute. Think this over.
Mayor, you want to talk to you? Come on out here.
Your friends?
I know them.
You heard me turn the senator loose.
Wyatt isn't here. You men better go home.
Call to them. Tell them to stop.
He's asking for it.
Then I will.
No, wait. You keep out of it.
6 men against 1? Is that really what you believe in?
I'm a hoodlum. Your own word.
I got him covered, Wyatt. Just give me the word and I'll blast him.
Hold it. Don't pay any attention to this star I'm wearing. I'm not the marshal anymore. I quit.
That's real good news. Hold it.
One of his deputies will plug us in the back.
No, they won't. Ollie, whoever's inside there, stay out of this.
Drop it. No fight.
All right, Senator. All we wanted was to get you out of there.
He's out. The judge ordered him released.
You too, Miss Laramie.
Just like I said, Wyatt. Come on, boys.
He saved your life.
Maybe.
You aren't really going to quit, are you, Mr. Earp?
It's already done. The judge asked me to apologize to you, so I apologize.
Is that why you want to quit?
No, I arrested Teague and the judge wouldn't back me up.
But you were wrong, you know.
I was wrong about the man being killed?
Yes, the senator was trying to stop his men. I was wrong tonight, too. And just as stubborn about it as you are.
Huh?
I'm going to hold another meeting, but away from downtown. I'm sure Senator Teague won't object at all. Mr. Earp, you're a brave man and a good officer. Won't you change your mind and...
Wyatt, there's trouble at Dr. Bick's office. Some of the cowhands that got hurt are threatening to start the fight all over again.
Tell Doc I'll be right down.
All right.
I'll see you at the next meeting. And you know, I really do favor votes for women.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may
and long may his story be told.
The friendship between Wyatt Earp and young Bat Masterson began in Ellsworth, Kansas. It was interrupted when Bat went off to school and Wyatt became Marshal of Wichita. Earp's time as Marshal of Wichita was drawing to a close, and in the meantime, Bat had grown up, but he still had the ambition to be a ladies' man and to wear a star in his own right. This had brought dangerous consequences. It brought young Masterson into conflict with the notorious Sergeant King, a former cavalryman and one of the meanest characters on the western frontier.
And now I'll show you how to put some English on the cue ball.
English?
Yeah. Now watch. You hit the ball just a little off center, like this. Now here's another little trick. Now this time...
Hello, Amy. No, it was a kid.
I'm Bat Masterson. Who are you?
He's Sergeant King.
Amy's my girl. Or perhaps you didn't know that.
Look, please, Bat doesn't want any
Shut up.
trouble.
I'll let it pass this time, Sonny. But if I catch you sparking around her again, I'll...
Look, you don't own Amy. And you don't boss me.
No?
No.
Help, please. The sergeant's got a gun.
Oh, you baby-faced little squirt, you...
Sergeant!
Well, well, if it isn't the captain. Get out of here, King. I mean it. You can't order me around. I'm not in the army no more.
Look, just let me get my guns and...
No! I can still put you under arrest. Want me to do that? Look, I'm not fighting you. The next time I catch you with Amy, I'll gun you. Now get out. You're young Masterson, civilian scout at Fort Dodge.
Yes, sir.
Does your friend Wyatt Earp know you're tangling with gunfighters like King?
No, sir, but I'm not scared of them.
Sonny, he'd have killed you. Next time, I might not be on hand.
Oh, Bat.
Now, don't you worry about me, honey.
Marshal Earp?
Oh, Captain. Been a long time.
And now time is short. I have to join my patrol. When did you last hear from Bat Masterson?
Bat? Oh, it's been about 4 months. He wrote me from school in Topeka.
He's not in school now. He signed on with the Army as a scout.
Fine. Promised me he'd stay in school.
I think he got a little too big for the other boys. But you've heard of one of my former non-coms, Sergeant King.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Bat's picked himself a fight with King over some girl at a roadhouse near Dodge City.
Well, he's in trouble.
Masterson wouldn't stand a chance with King in gunplay.
No. I better ride over to Dodge and have a talk with Bat.
Good. That's a big load off my mind. You'll find him at Regan's Roadhouse outside Dodge.
Oh, it's mighty nice of you to pass the word, Captain.
Well, I haven't forgotten how you helped us out with the Daggett gang in Oklahoma Territory. Now, watch yourself, Mr. Earp. King's bad medicine.
No, I'll be real careful, Captain. Thanks again.
Here's your leave of absence signed by the mayor.
Any objection?
Yeah, he hollered his head off. I think he suspects folks over at Dodge are trying to hire you away.
No, nothing like that. Just personal business. I'll be gone about 3 or 4 days. You'll be acting marshal. Just follow the regular routine.
Wyatt, I don't mean to get personal, but you going against trouble?
I might be. The instructions for returning my body to Illinois are in the drawer there. Give me a hand.
All right.
Amy! Amy! What's the matter? You look worried.
I am. Is Sergeant King after you?
Well, he better not be. Oh, now, honey, you promised not to bother yourself about that fella. He's jealous, that's all. He thinks he's a lady killer.
He's a man killer, Bet.
Ah, forget about King. I'm hungry and it's time to eat. And the Army wants me to go north and be a scout with General Custer. He's going to put old Sitting Bull in the sack next spring. Nah, but I'm going to stick around Dodge. Get me a job as a deputy marshal.
Well, would that pay more than scouting for the Army?
Oh, 2 or 3 times the money. Let's see, I'll get my share of all the fines. And counting what I'll win gambling, well, I'll make my pile so quick we can get married.
I haven't said yes.
And I wouldn't ask you, Amy. Not until I can give you pretty clothes and a living with some style to it.
Oh, you talk real sweet, honey. But I still think you should stay with the Army.
Why?
Well, because it's safer. You got the whole government on your side.
Now, there you go again, worrying about me.
Well, I know it hurts your feelings when I say it, but you're still a kid.
And you're so old.
Well, I'm older than you are, and I've learned enough to know that... Who's a stranger?
It's Wyatt Earp. Hello, Mr. Earp.
Mr. Masterson?
I meant to write you, but things move so fast I never got around to it. You on your way to Dodge?
No. Who's the young lady?
Oh, excuse me. Miss Amy Pelton, this is Mr. Earp. As good a friend as I ever had.
Well, I guess heaven must have sent you. I've been so worried I was on the verge of writing you myself.
Now, Amy, I don't...
Would you talk to him? See if you can talk some sense into his stubborn head? Well, I'll just be in the way. Excuse me.
I just couldn't stay in school. They had something called algebra. It's tougher than going against sawed-off shotguns, so I left.
Yeah, well, let's talk outside.
Yes. And I don't like scouting for the Army. I want to star. I am to be a deputy marshal in Dodge.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that, Mr. Masterson.
Look, Amy tries to treat me like a kid. Are you going to do that?
No.
Well, then stop calling me Mr. Masterson. I'm a grown man. Call me Bat, will you? We're friends, aren't we?
All right, Bat.
The only reason you called me Mr. Masterson was to make me feel older. Now I feel plenty old.
But I'm, messing into your private affairs, huh?
Well, who asked you to come here?
Good friend of yours. He, kind of thought you were rushing things a bit.
How do you mean?
Miss Pelton? You in love with her?
Yes, I am.
Aim to marry her?
That's right. Just as soon as I get me a deputy marshal's job in Dodge.
What seems to be the hang-up there?
New mayor. Fellow by the name of Hoover. Says he wants men with more experience. I told him I used to help you in Ellsworth.
What did he say to that?
Said if you'd recommend me, I could have the job. But I don't guess you'd do that, huh?
No. Not yet a while.
Not yet a while. It's always not yet a while, isn't it? With you, with Amy, with all of them. I'm gonna ride to the next saloon and get drunk. Come on.
Dad? Dad, stop. Come back.
Oh, you better go after him. He'll try to pick a fight with Sergeant King. He'll be killed.
Easy now.
Well, didn't he tell you? King threatened to gun him if he didn't stay away from me. And King will do it. He's a terrible man.
He's not going after King. Told me he was going to ride over to the next saloon and get himself drunk.
Oh, well, he won't.
What makes you so sure?
Well, that's one thing you taught him not to do. He was just trying to worry you.
I tried to teach him a few other things, too.
Yes, I know. About women. He told me.
Offhand, I imagine Bat can be quite a bit of trouble.
Well, he is. Sergeant King was after me, and well...
Used Bat to discourage King, huh?
I guess I did.
Look, I know it's awful rough out here for a girl, but still...
You think I should have picked on an older man? Well, all right. You be my hero. You see? Fellow won't stick up for a girl unless he really likes her. And Bat really likes me. And besides... Come on inside.
No, you go on in.
Hold it, Amy. Where's Masterson?
He's not here.
That's right.
You're both lying.
Your name, King?
Now, who are you?
Earp. Wyatt Earp, Wichita. Miss Pelton and I don't like to be called liars. Now, you get on your horse and get out of here.
You can't wet nurse that kid forever. He keeps away from her, or I'll kill him.
You look very drunk to me.
I changed my mind.
Stop acting like a 10-year-old brat.
I saw you running over King. He's my trouble, not yours. Look, quit following me, will you? I don't want to talk about it.
I'm your friend, remember?
Yeah, my friend. Playing a big hero. My wet nurse. That's what King called you, my wet nurse.
Maybe you need one.
Yeah, well, you'll see if I do. And so will King. Worst thing that could have happened. The very worst.
Is it?
Yes. A man fights his own fight. He doesn't let a friend fight it for him. No, I don't want any. I got back just when you were taking his gun away. 1 minute sooner and I could have faced him on my own.
No, you couldn't.
Oh, you mean you wouldn't have let me? Look, Mr. Earp, can't you see you've got to let me? King said it when he said you can't wet nurse me forever.
Look, I want you to live a while.
I can take King in a gunfight.
Now, don't be foolish. He's put 9 men in Boot Hill.
Oh, drunks, bragging cowhands. Couple of scared rabbits that didn't dare shoot back. Gosh, Mr. Earp, I thought you had more confidence in me with a gun.
That gunfighting isn't target practice.
Well, there's got to be a first time for every man.
All right, and wait until you're a man.
Mr. Earp, I'm past 21 years old. It's been a long time since Ellsworth.
Look, all you want to do is show off in front of Amy. You want to impress her.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do. And I got to tell you something. I had a long talk with Amy, and she's not that much in love with you.
What'd she say?
Well, she doesn't like Mr. King either. You just happened to show up conveniently.
Well, I don't believe that.
I'll go soak your head in a tub. Cool off. I'll be downstairs waiting. If you get sense back, I'll talk to you.
What'd Bat say?
Nothing sensible.
He still wants to fight King, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right, I know how to fix that.
How?
I'll just tell him that I don't care anything about him. Then he'll be real sore at me, and you can take him back to Wichita.
But he wouldn't go. He'd just think you were lying to keep him out of trouble, and he'd accuse me of putting you up to it.
Well, what can we do then?
Well, I guess I'll just have to shoot Mr. King. Not fatally, just clip him a little.
Be kinder if you'd clip Bat.
Kinder?
Well, what'd happen to that boy if word got out that you gunned King to save him? He'd never live it down, Mr. Earp.
Well, a few weeks' talk, men in Dodge City find something else to talk about.
No. Men can be awful cruel. Talk would follow Bat everywhere he went.
Maybe you're right.
And how would you like to live in this country with men saying your best friend had to fight your first battle for you?
Well, there's only one other chance.
What's that?
He wants to wear a star. He wants to be a marshal. Traveling?
That's right. Dodge City.
I'm disappointed.
Oh, sure.
I was just out there walking a little bit. Thinking about what you said this afternoon about the deputy marshal job.
Yeah?
I can't very well recommend you for Dodge because I don't know what their plans are there. How about working in Wichita for me?
No, thanks.
Make you full deputy.
Well, can you hold the place open?
For how long?
Until I've had my fight with King. Might take a day or so for him and me to get together. He moves around different places and...
I give up.
Sorry we can't agree, Mr. Earp. But a man's got to do the way he thinks is right.
Yeah. Well, I reckon this will be the last time.
Oh, I'll see you again.
I doubt it. You're too slow. You don't know how to shoot.
What?
You heard me. You don't know the first principle about gunfighting.
What do you mean? I'm almost as good as you are.
Would you like to try and prove it?
Yeah, right now. Let's go into the barn.
All right.
Trying to shake hands with me for the last goodbye. I'll show you a trick or two with guns you don't even know. You think I'm just a bragging kid? Well, I practiced my draw. Practiced hours and hours. When I'm clean.
Let me see it.
What's the matter? Don't you trust me?
It's not the point. It's always the unloaded gun that goes off. Here.
All right, anytime you're ready.
Oh, wait a minute. You're too far away. King will move in close on you to make sure. Come on. That's it. Hold it right there. All right.
Draw.
Hold it. Now, you see, you lost a lot of time reaching up for him. Now, you lower your gun belt until the grips just touch the palm of your hand as they hang naturally. That's it. Now, we'll try it again. This time I'll stay close to you so I can see what you're doing. You ready?
Yeah.
Keep your hands down. Well, that's pretty good. If I'd have missed you or hadn't hit you in a vital spot, you could have gotten the shot off at me.
Well, I didn't claim to be as fast. I said almost as fast.
You're plenty fast enough, but you telegraph.
Telegraph?
Mm-hmm. A gunfighter who hasn't had too much experience usually starts the draw with his eyes. He either blinks them or narrows them and lets the order that his brain has given to his hand show in his face. And the shoulder muscles tense, and his hand usually just makes a little move to get closer to that gun grip.
You mean I did all those things?
Well, any one of them would be just enough to give King 1/10 of a second on you. But your main fault is that you're watching my hand.
Well, aren't you supposed to watch to make sure the other man is really going to draw?
Well, don't you worry about King. He'll draw. Now, you never mind his hand. You just keep your eye on the spot you want your bullet to go. Now, where do you want to shoot King?
Well, just shoot him. I hadn't thought about exactly where. I guess I'll hit him in the shoulder. That's what you do.
But just where in the shoulder?
Well, right here.
No. No, a shoulder shot is aimed just a hand's length. Right here, from the breastbone. You hit just below the collarbone. Now, the bullet paralyzes the brachial plexus nerve. The impact spins your man off balance, and he falls.
Yeah, but what if King draws with the other hand?
Well, you got to take care of that, too. Load your gun. I'm going to draw this shoulder high. Now, this is the area for the cripple shot. Right there. Now, miss to the left, you'd either get the throat or you get the heart. Miss to the right, you'd miss clean. Now, remember, the moment you see King, you draw. One flash of recognition, and your eyes steady on this circle. Now, as soon as you see this spot, your hand moves, but not until. Now, your eyes stay focused on this circle as the gun sight comes up. Now, the instant that gun sight reaches the lower point of this circle, you fire. But you wait for the gun sight, you understand? Come on. Now, this is about the right distance. A little closer. That's it. Now, you keep your eyes on the circle at all times, and you face your target squarely. Let your arms hang down naturally to the side. All right, it's King. Well, you didn't wait for your gun sight, and you didn't take time to draw. Now, let's try it again. Now, take your time. It's important to draw fast and get off the first shot, but it's much more important to have your bullet go where you want it to go. All right? Draw. Well, that's better. You got him close to the heart that time. You satisfied?
No. I want to hit where I aim.
Look, Bat. Why don't you forget Amy and King and come back to Wichita with me, huh?
I thought we were talking about gunfighting. Now, is there anything else I ought to know?
Yeah, there's plenty more you ought to know. We'll have another session tomorrow. In the meantime, you just practice what I taught you.
All right.
That's pretty good. You didn't telegraph, and you took a split second to aim.
Well, that ought to be pretty good after 2 solid days of this.
There's just one other thing. Let's see you fall down and draw.
Fall down and draw?
That's right. You've been assuming through all of this that you're going to outdraw King and put him out of action.
Well, yes, I have.
You got no right to assume any such thing. No, King may draw faster than you and knock you down. But let's say that you're still able to shoot. Fall down.
Yeah, but if I'm down, where do I aim?
You aim right at his heart. I've seen a lot of men get hit in the stomach and keep on shooting. Now, you remember, if you're hit, you go down. You got to kill in the next instant or be killed. It's your life or his.
Yes, sir, I understand.
All right, let's try it. You ready?
Yeah.
No, you missed. Come on, try it again. Get yourself set.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
That's good. Where are you going?
Oh, Archie's driving me to Dodge. I can't stay here. As soon as you leave, King will be coming after Bat, and I'll be next.
Did you tell Bat you were leaving?
No, I hate goodbyes. You explain it. Come on, Archie.
That's Amy. She left.
What'd you expect? She's afraid of King.
Yeah, but running out on me. We talked about getting married. She knows I wouldn't let
You
King...
never did have much sense when it came to women. Now, why don't you wake up? Amy's just a good-time gal. Gunfight isn't her idea of a good time. You were foolish to credit Amy for being any more than what she is. She'll always run away from trouble. You sure you don't want me to stick around till our friend Sergeant King shows up again?
No, I don't. School's out.
Probably haven't learned a thing.
Well, if I haven't, that's my funeral.
I still think you ought to come to Wichita with me.
That tame old town? You should be ashamed to stay there.
Oh?
Yeah, but you'll get fed up with Wichita. You'll come to Dodge. That's where all the excitement's gonna be.
Well, maybe I'm too old.
Oh, yeah. Can I hold a stirrup for you?
You just remember one thing your old man Earp taught you. You draw fast, but you aim slow.
Yeah, I know it all by heart. Now get going, will you?
Good luck.
Oh, young man, take heed of this good advice. A headstrong man is a dead man. You never get the same chance twice. So, young man, go, young man, and learn from the wise and strong that a headstrong fool is a dead fool, but a fast-thinking man lives long. Oh, young man, think fast, shoot slow.
Where's Amy?
Not here.
But you're here.
Get out of here, Odie. Go on, get out.
All right, Mr. Masterson, you got him.
I did?
Completely.
I feel awful sick.
You just killed a man. How do you expect to feel? Like cheering? Come on. Put your arm around my shoulder. Will we be able to travel, Doc? Good. I want to take him to his folks.
No. I still want to be a marshal.
Now, look, that leg's got a long time to go before it's going to be well. It's going to be months before you're going to be able to walk. When you are able to, I want your first job as deputy to be with me.
You mean I made it?
Mm-hmm. You made it.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail.
Oh, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold.
and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
Wild and woolly Wichita died hard. In the spring of 1876, Marshal Wyatt Earp believed the town was civilized at last. If he could get by one more cattle drive, the cowhands would move on to Dodge City, which was the new Gomorrah of the plains. But Wyatt discounted too much the forces of cowhand hatred and vengeance. A lot of men whom Wyatt had buffaloed or thrown into jail were determined to have one last fling in Wichita, come rain or snow.
Here, I help you, Mr. Push. Oh, good. Now, you try. How do you feel, Mr. Earp? Too tired? They pinch?
No, that isn't it. It's just that... Well, it's the first time I've ever had on any walking shoes. I guess that's why they just don't fit right.
But you need walking shoes, Mr. Earp. When you're on horseback, to boot, sure. But the town is so quiet, you walk the streets like a big city cop.
Yeah, I know, Tommy. Well, it's the end of something. The end of all the bad old days. Imagine me pounding a beat.
You should be happy and proud, Mr. Earp. Wichita is now civilized. And you did it with fists and guns and brains.
Well, I just helped the folks out a bit. But mostly they did it themselves by insisting on a peaceful... Take care of my boots.
Don't lose your temper, Ori. Don't lose your temper.
I ain't bad, hon. I'm gonna start hitting them pretty soon.
No, Ori, please. Stop it. You don't know what you're doing. If Ori loses his temper.
Break it up. Break it. Break it up. Break it up. Why don't you fight your own fight? Oh, Matthew.
Stop it, Ori. Put him down.
Throw him out the door.
Put him down, I said.
All right, huh? I only lost my temper for just a second, huh?
You want me to arrest him, Mr. Taylor?
No, he doesn't. Get out of here, all of you. That means you too, Mr. Earp.
Oh, Mildred don't mean that. You can stay. He's the law, and we make friends with the law. Ain't that what you told me, hon?
The law, yes, but not Mr. Earp. I'm sorry, but his cousins don't like you.
Oh, that's a secret.
It's all right. I know who your cousins are.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Man and Clements, Joe and Jip Clements, John Wesley Hardin, among others.
Doggone it, hon.
And you ran Manham Clements and Wes Hardin out of Wichita. Well, the fat's in the fire, Ori. I guess we have to leave town.
Excuse me, that dinner roast of mine will burn. Excuse me.
Why do you think you're going to have to leave town, Mrs. Taylor? You started an honest business. You got a right nice place here.
Thanks.
Look, I'm not going to tell anybody about your family connections if that's what's worrying you.
The word will get out somehow.
What if it does?
Ori's a Clements. I got him away from them, but once folks know who we are, there'll be trouble. Once a Clements, always a Clements, I reckon. How'd you find out?
Your father wrote me.
Oh,
You want me to run Ori out of town?
that sounds like Papa. Well, why didn't you order us to leave?
Well, what he wants doesn't make any difference to me. Besides, folks can't always choose their relatives on either side. Now, you and Ori are welcome to stay here in Wichita as long as you obey the city ordinances.
That's mighty decent of you. How come the Clements talk so mean?
Oh, I don't talk mean, honey. I like Mr. Earp real good. You know, that roast of mine ain't even singed.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Maybe I'll stop back for supper.
Say, you be our guest. What I mean is, Mildred and me won't charge you nothing.
Now, no, there was a fight at lunch, and there'll be another row at dinner. Some cowhand won't like the way Ori cooks, or he'll get fresh with me, and Ori will lose his temper, and then...
No, I won't, hon. I promised her if she'd marry me, well, there wouldn't be any more killings. I don't even keep a gun.
You stick to that, Mr. Taylor. We're all trying to have a law-abiding town here in Wichita.
Yeah, that's what we heard.
I give you my promise you'll get police protection.
You're going to surround this place with deputies?
No, just myself. I'll stay out there in the kitchen where I won't be too obvious. I'll see you all later.
Oh, honey, Mr. Earp means it. Just think, I'll never have to lose my temper again.
You call this good chow? It's hog slop.
Put that down.
Now, who threw that? I said, who threw it? Well, I got my supper. You get a mop and clean that up. Use her, I'll use your head for a mop.
Now, Ori?
Oh, it's all right, hon. No temper.
Ori!
Yes, sir.
I'll have roast beef, medium rare.
Yes, mister.
Now, let's all sit down and have a nice, quiet dinner.
Shall we?
Can I have a dustpan, please?
Who's he?
Oh, he's one of a bunch of drunken cowhands creating a disturbance outside that new cafe. It was pretty early in the morning. They were all standing out in front shouting at Ori Taylor to come on out and feed them breakfast. I just locked the rest of them up.
Any of them packing guns?
Yeah, this one was. That's why I kept him out here. I thought maybe you might want to talk to him.
No. I spoke him on peace disturbance, threatening with a deadly weapon. Drunk on the streets.
All right. Come on. Inside. Come on. Come on.
I don't know why you're taking up for these Clements.
Ori and Mildred aren't Clements.
They're trouble, Wyatt.
Oh. Why should they be? She broke with her own father to marry him, and Ori wants to run an honest business. What's wrong with that?
Romantically, nothing. But practically, it's stirring up a hornet's nest. Why not let me print the fact that the Taylors are related to Manon Clements?
I'd just as soon you wouldn't, that's all.
It'd stop the trouble in their cafe right quick if the cowhand show-offs knew who they were fooling with. What are you trying to prove, Wyatt?
I'm trying to prove it's a new Wichita.
What?
Oh, you know Taylor could keep order all by himself. He's strong enough to break the average man in half, and if he wanted a gun, he'd go get it. But that was the old Wichita, Mr. Murdock.
Well, sure, Wyatt, but this is different. It's different.
Look, we all worked hard to build a police force, to convince the town that a man no longer has to protect his own life and property. The police force will do it for him. Now, if that doesn't hold for Ori Taylor, then we have nothing. We failed. If we admit that, then Wichita's going to slide right back where Dodge City is now.
Wyatt, there's more trouble down at the new cafe.
What's wrong now?
I don't know, but the woman sent word for you to get down there right away.
I'll see you later. Get a shotgun.
You let that man out, Ori. He'll smother in there.
No, Mr. Earp's going to settle this.
He can't settle it. The madder you make that man, the more apt he is to talk. Can't you see that, you big stupid?
Well, I don't care if he talks, honey. He threatened you.
He's just a town tough. He can't do... Ori put a man in the closet. He's got to let him out before he smothers.
Who started the row?
He called us Clemenses. He's sore at my cousin man.
Let him out, Mr. Taylor.
But he said he'd gun me. And he said he'd gun Mildred, too.
I'll let him out.
Okay, if you say so.
Take it easy. You'll be all right, Jack.
You know him?
Jack Minto. I've had him in jail a couple of times.
Since when you pal up with Clemenses? You better stop that.
Ori!
You want a piece of this joint, Marshal? That's why you're giving him personal protection?
Right now, I'm protecting you.
From what? Ptomaine poison?
Now, look, you better get out of here and stay out.
I ain't scared of him. Or any of his murdering cousins. Take it easy. I swore I'd get Manning Clements. Any Clements will do.
Biff, he threatened us again.
Now, just take it easy, Ori. Sit down.
Who is he?
He's a faro dealer, guard over at the Oriental.
Why is he so sore at Cousin Manning?
Well, when he gets drunk, he'll tell anybody that listens to him that Manning killed his brother.
Was that true?
I don't know.
But I never killed nobody. Why don't he go after Manning?
He's scared to, I think.
Oh, it's no use, Ori. We can't stay here. We'll have to sell out and move further west.
Guess so, hon, but it don't seem hardly fair. Why can't a man live in peace? I like to keep good control of my temper. I like to cook things real nice and watch folks sit down and enjoy themselves and eat, all friendly like. Mister, why can't a man do that?
He can, Ori.
No, he can't.
Now, look, don't worry. I'll run Minto out of town. Now, you two go on, prepare lunch for your customers.
Hold it.
Stay here. Your time's up, Minto.
What?
I'm doing you a favor. You better get out of town if you want to stay healthy.
You can't scare me. How much is that big idiot paying you to protect him?
You tired of living? You go against Ori with a gun, you'll break it over your head.
Sure. He stops bullets with his
Now, look, I don't want to see you in this town 6 hours from now. If I do, it's going to take all the splint stock Fabric can find to prop you up. Sorry I'm late, but my new walking shoes pinched me so bad, I had to put my old boots back on.
What do you make of this, Wyatt? Do you think Shanghai's having a little joke with us?
No. I figured the Cayennes would want to have one last fling.
Goodbye, Wichita. Hello, Dodge.
Yeah, but as Shanghai says, if nothing happens to make them sore, well, they'll behave all right.
Something always happens to rile the cowhands. Shouldn't you swear in some extra deputies?
Nope.
Oh, yes. Now I remember. This is the new Wichita.
That's right.
Wyatt, I've been your friend a long time.
Best friend I got in Wichita.
I'd like to speak honestly. As a friend, a newspaper man. There'll always be trouble here. Cowhands hate you, and they hate Wichita for keeping you in office. They just don't realize or won't that you're not a killing marshal.
Well, I get offers every day from Mayor Hoover in Dodge.
You're not leaving. Well, that wouldn't end the trouble. The cowhands would still hate Wichita.
I'll tell you, Mr. Murdock, nothing stays the same. The cattle shipping business has moved on to Dodge as far as...
Marshal Earp, thank heaven. Minto's hiding in an alley in back of our place with a gun.
Minto, I told him to get out of town.
Oh, hurry, or he might lose his temper, and then anything can happen.
I want to wring your neck. No.
Stop it, Ori! Let go!
No!
Ori! Did that man...
No. I had to hit him. He wouldn't let go. Or he killed Minto.
He had a gun. It was self-defense.
But he hadn't drawn the gun.
Are you going to arrest Ori? I thought you were our friend.
Now, look, Mrs. Taylor,
Don't give me that law talk. I'm going straight to Cousin Manning.
there's no need of that.
Yes, there is. You Wichita townies are all against the Clements. Oh, come on, hon. It'll be all right. Cousin Manning will come and get you out.
That's for the judge to decide. Come on, Ori.
You looking for someone?
I'm Mannon's cousin Mildred. Where will I find him?
Right over there.
Over here.
You alone?
Yes. I know you don't like me, but Ori's in bad trouble.
How bad?
He killed a man. Wyatt Earp put him in jail.
Well, I'll be... He'd only do that if he lost his temper.
Minto was after Ori with a gun. It was self-defense, Cousin Mannon.
Ori's a maverick. Turned on his family. Married you.
Well, he's still your cousin. You're not going to let those Wichita townies lynch him.
Are you sure that's what they aim to do?
Of course they do. Earp pretended to be our friend, and then he said that Minto hadn't drawn his gun, and he took Ori for murder. Will you aim to stand by while they lynch your own blood cousin?
Well, no, I don't reckon I could do that.
Well, what are you going to do?
Busting Ori out of that Wichita jail is not going to be any picnic. I'll have to get a lot of boys.
You will come and save him.
Well, not on your account. Now, you get along back to Wichita.
Yes, sir, Cousin Mannon.
Wyatt. You here all alone?
Yep.
Where are all your deputies?
Out at the edge of town waiting for Man and Clemens.
What about that lynch mob out there?
Don't worry about them. They won't start anything until they see what Judge Jewett does in court.
And what are you going to do?
Tell the truth.
What's that? Taylor murdered the man, didn't he?
Nope.
Why, for heaven's sakes, he's a Clemens. Doc Fabrique tells me it was the most brutal killing he'd ever worked on.
I know. Come on, let's go to court.
Listen, Wyatt, the whole town's up in arms about this. You can't afford to side in with the Clements, with the cowhand faction.
I know I can't, but I can afford to tell the truth. Come on.
Proceed with your testimony, Mr. Taylor.
Well, when I saw him waiting for me in the alley, I kind of lost my temper. Hello, Mildred. That's my wife who just come in. She always warned me not to do it.
Not to kill Jack Minto?
Oh, no, sir. Not to lose my temper.
Oh. Is that all you have to say?
I reckon it is.
You may step down.
Oh, thank you, Judge.
Marshal Earp?
Yes.
You go ahead and lie about us and see how much good it'll do you.
Order. Quiet, young woman. Proceed, Marshal Earp.
Well, I haven't got too much time, Your Honor. There's a lynch party outside, and I think Man and Clements is on his way here with a gang of cowhands.
Does that disturb you, Marshal?
No, sir.
Good. And I think we have time for you to tell the court the whole truth.
Well, sir, in the first place, I can verify everything that Ori Taylor testified to. Minto did threaten to kill Ori. I was there. So I ordered Minto to leave town.
Mildred says to hurry. Wyatt Earp's going to lie in court. The townies are all set to hang Ori after the judge sentences him.
How much time we got?
Not more than half an hour. Give me the spurs.
And I think the only question this court has to decide is whether Ori had to kill Minto.
And what is your own opinion, Marshal Earp?
Well, sir, physically speaking, Ori did have the jump on Minto and could have disarmed him. But mentally speaking, Ori was in fear of his life. I don't think the law can ask a fearful and angry man like Ori to exercise calm judgment in a situation like that. My opinion is that Ori be found guilty of manslaughter and because of extenuating circumstances, be given a suspended sentence.
This court agrees with Marshal Earp and sentences the defendant to 1 year in jail. The sentence is hereby suspended.
Judge, does that mean I don't have to go to jail?
That's right. But I think Marshal Earp wants to keep you in protective custody for a short time.
Well, I think that would be better, sir. Would you take Mr. Taylor back to jail?
Mildred. Court's adjourned.
Hey, take him to the jail. Let's get over there. Hold it. I thought you men wanted a civilized town. Well, you got one, whether you want it or not. Now, maybe you're the last of the old Wichita wild and woolies. Maybe you'd rather die than act decent. All right. All of you in favor of dying, make your play.
Only a handful. I said the whole town would be after Taylor.
Wichita's changed, Mr. Murdock. But I doubt if Manning Clemens has changed very much.
Why not turn Taylor loose? That'd satisfy Clemens.
Manning would just think I was doing that because I was afraid of him. I'm gonna go meet him.
You want to fight?
No, I want peace, Mr. Murdock. Sometimes you can talk folks into being civilized. Other times you gotta use a gun.
Pick one up.
All right, man?
You all set?
Yeah. Got the shotguns loaded. Keep an eye out.
Wyatt, I may have done wrong, but I let Mrs. Taylor through.
How long ago was that?
15 minutes or so. She wouldn't say what her business was or where she was going.
She's probably going to tell Manning that we're keeping Ori in jail. He's not going to like that.
We did that for Ori's own good.
You try and argue that with Manning. I'm going to talk with this.
Wyatt, here they come.
All right, everybody keep down. Don't start anything until they do.
She says you told the truth.
I always try to do that.
She says you stood off a lynch party. You aimed to turn Cousin Ori loose from jail.
That's right.
The judge and you Wichita folks really gave one of us Clemenses a fair trial.
Yes, they did, Cousin Manning.
Well, I'm mighty thankful to you, Mr. Earp.
You're welcome.
Me and the boys, we left our weapons back yonder. You reckon it's all right for us to come into Wichita?
Yep.
I don't suppose you'd take a bite to eat with us over at the Texas Hotel.
Well, thank you, Manning. I'd like to do that. Mrs. Taylor, I'm sure that invitation includes you and Cousin Ori.
Well,
It's a family affair. You're kinfolk. Does seem like there's something more I could do.
There is. You can tell the cow camps that Wichita wants peace. They'd listen to you, Manning.
I'll do that, Mr. Earp.
All right, everybody grab a box. Move them out of the way.
Mighty nice of you, Mr. Earp.
All right, yes, sit down.
How was dinner? How was Manning?
Roast beef. Well, he said he'd pass the word. He's got 37 cousins, and they in turn will pass the word.
Well, Wyatt, I guess you can move on to Dodge City with a clear conscience.
She said he couldn't guarantee that they'd listen. If they didn't listen, he'd gun them.
Well, that's one way to have peace.
Yeah.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And can deny it. The legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told. Long may his story be told. Wyatt Earp, Wyatt Earp, brave, courageous, and bold. Long live his fame, and long live his glory, and long may his story be told.
As the gypsies have roamed alien lands through the ages, so they ventured early to our western frontier. For the West was horse country, and the gypsies were horse traders, and sometimes horse thieves. The day came when Wyatt Earp had to decide which.
I don't come all the way to town unless it's important. You know that, Bud.
Another good horse disappeared last night. It belonged to George Ariz here. Tell him what happened, George.
I sent the horse into town after supper with my wrangler, Casey. He stopped to light a cigar, and a man wearing a mask clubbed him.
When I come to, the horse was gone.
That's the 7th good animal that's been stole this fall. Now, George and I called you men together to decide what we're going to do about it.
Well, what about the law, Bud? We're paying this Marshal Earp pretty good.
This marshal ain't located one of your stolen horses.
When there wasn't any law at all in this country, we knew how to handle horse thieving.
And I'm one who ain't forgotten.
Do you have any idea who's responsible?
Sure. Casey found this at the West Fork last night.
That's the mask of Rustler wore.
It's a cheap bandana dyed black. I dipped it in some boiling water and soaked some of the dye off. Here, take a look at it.
Purple and green around the edges.
Now, where have you seen folks wearing purple and green around here?
Well, gypsy women out at Cassin's camp.
Seems like we ought to go out to Cassin's camp and have a look around, don't it?
If George Iron's horse is out there, we might just knock this around some gypsy's neck.
That ought to take care of horse rustling around Wichita for a while. That was our idea in calling these men together, wasn't it, George?
That was our idea.
All right. Let's go out the corral and get our horses.
Morning, Mr. Irons, Mr. Creel. Morning, boys.
Morning, Marshal.
You riding out somewhere?
Is that any of your business, Earp?
I hope it isn't.
Well, it ain't, so get off my corral gate.
Now, look, I know where you're headed and why you're headed there. I'm going to ask you to cool off and think it over.
You aiming to stop us?
Yep.
You hired out to handle horse thieving, among other things around Wichita. You haven't done it.
So?
So, maybe we can handle it better.
Like stringing up a gypsy?
Yeah. If he's the one that slugged Casey and stole George Iron's horse last night.
Well, that'd be murder, Mr. Creel, the way you're going to go about it.
Even if we can prove he stole my horse?
Well, you prove it to me, and I'll put him in jail. Then you got to prove it to the judge. That's the law.
And this is my corral, and we're coming in to get our horses.
I shouldn't wonder you could do it. There's enough of you. But how many will there be when you get on the other side of this gate?
You can't bluff me, Earp.
I'm not trying to bluff you, Mr. Creel. I'm just asking you to stop and think whether any horse you ever rode is worth a hole in your shirt. Or one in yours, Mr. Irons. Your family can get along a lot better without that horse than it can without you.
Are we going to let him buffalo us?
Mr. Casey, you want to be the first one through the gate?
I ain't gonna let no young squirt back me down. Put up that gun. Give me an even draw.
All right. Go ahead. Take him over to Dr. Brigg's office. I'm going to ride out to the gypsy camp, see if they got any strange horses in their string.
All right, Marshal. We'll try it your way. Just once more.
I advise you to get rid of those guns. They're a heavy drag on the ribs.
Guess off.
Hello, Marshal.
Morning, son. Anna?
Good morning, Mr. Earp. Would you like some coffee?
Didn't come for coffee, thanks. I'd like to talk. It's not very much like the old buffalo hunting days, is it?
Not much.
I see, married life kind of settles a man.
Did you come here to talk to me about married life?
No. As a matter of fact, I'm in a little trouble.
I hope I can help you, as you have often helped me.
I think you can.
How?
Well, by answering some questions. Another horse was stolen last night. Right in the edge of town.
I know. A roan off of George Iron's ranch.
How do you know about it?
We have ways of knowing things. There is no roan horse on this ranch. You can look around if you like.
No, I've already looked. Son, what do you know about these wagon families living on your land?
You know I don't discuss the affairs of my people.
No, they're not really your people. Since you married a wife from Ohio and homesteaded this land, you haven't been riding with the wagons.
I respect the customs.
Well, we've got an old custom in this part of the country for horse stealing called hanging. I don't respect it. But if the rustling keeps up, I don't know what I can do about it.
We did not steal that horse last night.
What about the other 6 horses that disappeared lately?
No.
You give me your word as a friend or a gypsy?
A friend.
All right. But the ranchers think differently. They found this mask on the West Fork Road last night near where the horse was stolen.
Gypsies don't need masks to steal horses. That proves we did not do it. It's an old trick, Marshal. Someone trying to throw suspicion on us.
Suspicion in my eye. They can use this as evidence against you. Well, you'd have had a gang of visitors carrying guns and ropes if I hadn't stopped them.
In a gypsy camp, every gun in every wagon is loaded.
Son, whether you're my friend or not, you don't want to pitch battle against the ranchers. They'd kill half your people.
I thank you for preventing it.
Look, will you help me find out what's happening to these horses?
No, I don't dare.
I'll back you up. I'll make you my special deputy.
Don't you understand? The law is an enemy that hounded the gypsies in every land. I cannot look with the law. It is forbidden.
You mean your own people would dry gulch you? Take your choice.
Here he comes. All right, Marshal, did you turn up my horse?
Casson said he didn't steal any horses.
We know all about you and Casson, Earp.
He's an honest man.
You back to gypsies and we go on losing horses. Is that it?
No. But since we don't know where to go to find the rustlers, maybe we can bring the rustlers to us. Try staking out a couple of good animals.
Decoys, eh?
That's right. Close by town where I can keep my eye on them.
Might work.
Nothing else has. Mr. Irons, will you lend me a couple of your horses for the job?
Why 2 and why mine?
Because you raise the best stock in Kansas and because we got to stake out something the rustlers can't resist stealing.
And the marshal's office is going to be watching them?
Yep.
Then you better use somebody else's horses.
Hold it. I don't think you meant that, did you? I don't think you meant that I'm in on any deal that might lose you your horses.
I don't recall saying you were in on it, Earp. But I do know valuable stock's been disappearing, right under your nose.
Make you feel any better if I appoint you special deputy for the job?
I've got a ranch to run, Earp.
What about your wrangler, Casey? He's been with you for over 9 years. You ought to trust him.
Casey, you heard the marshal's proposition. Want to work with him a couple of days?
Sure, why not? Make it a crack at whoever slugged me.
All right. Now, it's to your men's interest to keep this quiet. So keep it among yourselves.
All right.
See anything on the road in?
Yeah, jackrabbits.
Yeah, nothing moving around here.
That's where he was, Wyatt. Hiding under that bridge. The man in a mask that slugged me.
I've been staked out here since about dark, waiting for him.
They're playing this one close to the vest.
Casey, you go turn your horses loose in that field over there.
Yeah, I know. Irons told me.
Got anything to eat?
Nope.
Well, I'll bring you some dinner.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Thank you.
Bud Creel. Come on in.
Any sign of him?
Nope.
The Dutchman wants you in town, Herb. Some cowhands that get included in this place.
You want to watch with Casey?
I don't need nobody.
I'll watch till my night stage goes out, just after midnight.
I'll be by later, Casey.
Casey. He's dead. They got your horses, too, George.
And where's that marshal?
Forget the marshal. Let's trail those horses. How'd you mark their shoes?
We didn't. Casey took their shoes off, so whoever stole them couldn't ride off fast.
It'll be easy to track them barefoot. Come on. Look at those tracks. They had them tied out here.
Look at these. They'd ride into Casson's camp. But there he is, the roan.
Right out in the open. Why, those gypsies... Take it easy, George. There's a dozen guns in that camp. Hadn't we better go back to town and raise some riders?
You can do anything you like, but that's my roan horse. Him and me go back to town together. Get out of here.
Don't go near that horse.
We'll have trouble. You two go on back to town.
What are you doing here?
Earning my wages. I found Casey dead about an hour ago. Tracked your horse to Casson's waterhole.
The horse was brought dead before dawn by someone trying to make it appear that we had stolen it.
I wouldn't talk too much, Casson. What you say can be used against you.
Or against you, Herb.
Yeah. What about George's other horse, Marshal?
I wouldn't know about that. But right now, if I were you two, I wouldn't pick a private fight. Take a good look around you.
Do they think they can take my horse? Hold it!
They think Casson's being framed by the law. Casson, tell your people that I'm not going to frame you, that I'm your friend.
And tell them if they gun us, half of Wichita will be out here on a run.
They'll shoot them like sheep, burn their wagons.
Shut up, Grjngo.
Casson, tell your people that you're going into town as my prisoner because I promised you justice. Tell them they've got to back my play. Because with that horse being found in your camp, if you don't go in town with me, I can't keep you from a lynching.
Vayata con los pados. Vayan las pistolas. Grjngo!
All right, you two go on into town. We'll be right behind you. Get your things. Casson, trust me, it's the only way. Who is it?
Annie Castle.
All right. Sit down. Took a big chance coming here tonight. Gypsies aren't too popular.
I thought the town was asleep.
I was not going to be sleeping on this one. Anna, I'm sorry. I can't let you see Casson.
Oh, I understand. I had to bring him his supper. He'll only eat gypsy food.
Yeah, I know. I told him if he'd just starved to death, it might save us a lot of trouble.
Why, this isn't a joke, Mr. Earp. I came here for something else. I had to warn you.
About what?
Some of the ranchers are planning to break into jail and take Casson.
You know that? How?
I can't tell you.
Well, how can I believe you?
When a gypsy woman reads the ranch-wise fortunes, she learns a lot more than she tells. You've got to stop them, Mr. Earp. On my word, the gypsies didn't steal those horses. Casson is innocent.
You're his wife, you'd say that.
It's true. You know he's not a horse thief. You're his friend. You can't let them hang him.
Now, look, Anna, there's only one of me. There'll be 100 of those jug-crazy cowhands. If they start here, I don't know if I can stop them.
The rancher's wife said it might be tonight.
The necktie party? I better sleep here in the jail, then.
Why, you'd give your life for him, wouldn't you, Mr. Earp?
Look, Anna, if you want to save your husband, you better get your people to try and find out who stole those horses.
We'll try to find out.
And tell them this much for me. They're not doing the law a favor. Casson's their blood. It's him they're helping. You better go on home. Take the alley. I think you'll be all right. I can't go with you.
Thank you, Mr. Earp.
Good night, Anna.
What? Things are kind of piling up on you.
Uh-huh. They're really piling up.
They say they'll force your resignation if Casson doesn't hang or if one more horse is stolen.
Yeah, well, one more horse has been stolen.
What?
Roan belonging to George Irons, the evidence against Casson.
But that horse was in your custody, locked in your stable.
I know it. Last night while I was on guard duty, somebody pried the steel bar off the stable and the roan's gone.
Where were your deputies?
I only had 2 of them yesterday.
Listen, I'll serve Wyatt if you want to swear me in.
No. 1 gun more or less would make any difference if they come for Casson tonight.
You think they'll try?
Yeah.
First, they'll be here sometime this afternoon asking for my resignation. Not being able to stop somebody from stealing a horse that was placed in my custody, and I can't say I blame them.
Well, I can.
All they know is that they were brought up believing that the only way to stop horse stealing was to hang some man.
They're breaking windows, trying to decoy me outside. Don't worry, I won't leave the jail. Town can pick up glass off the streets, but not blood.
Get away from that window. Open up!
Who's there?
It's me, Murdock. You wanted over at Doc for Breeks.
You know I can't leave here.
It's Cassin's wife. She's hurt. Some drunken cowhand turned over her wagon. She said she's got to talk to you.
You stay here. Lock the door behind me.
He's leaving the jail. Keep your eyes on him. I'll report to Bud Creel. Go around the back.
Your men are getting liquored up all over town. We can't hold them much longer, Earp or no Earp.
Bud, Earp just left the jail.
Which way's he heading?
Well, I don't know, but they're watching him on every corner.
All your men are waiting for is a signal. Let's give it to them.
Marshal went into Doc Fabrique's office and came right out. He's walking down the street and headed this way.
Well, boys, I believe Earp's come to his senses, coming down here to make a deal. Jenks, if he steps inside, bolt the door behind him. I'll go out back and lock my stable door. Then we'll have him boxed while the hands go to work on the jail.
Welcome committee, huh? Every man that lost a horse. Well, that's good. Except Bud Creel, where's he?
Just back in the stable. He'll be right in.
Maybe I better talk to him there. Alone. I'd stay out of it if I were you.
Well, Mr. Earp, so you're quitting on your gypsy partner.
No, not just yet.
What'd you come down here for? Resign or make a deal?
I came down here to get George Iron's horse.
You mean the one someone stole right out of your own stable last night?
You stole that horse, Mr. Creel.
Me?
That's right, you. Only you hadn't had time to run him out of town yet.
He's accusing me of rustling those horses.
That's right. You hid him out here in this stable until your night stage left. Then your drivers ran him south. That's how all your stock has been disappearing, gentlemen. Right down the open trail on Mr. Creel's stage run. At night and under harness, where nobody'd ever think to look for a stolen horse.
You've got no proof of that, Earp.
I guess you'll be surprised to know I got it from the gypsies.
From the gypsies?
That's right. Last night, they spotted your 2 stolen horses at Creel's first relay station south. I just got the word.
And you take the word of a lying gypsy?
That's no proof.
Proof's right under our nose. Only we couldn't see it.
Where'd he get his gun?
There's your roan, Mr. Irons. He killed Casey, then he sent those 2 horses of yours out of town, pulling the night stage. Then he planted the roan horse at the gypsy camp where we found it. His game was going so good, he got a little greedy last night. He had to steal it back from me.
And he was holding it in this blind stall for his late stage run tonight.
That's right. Figured tonight'd be an easy one, with the whole town busy hanging a gypsy. So you men, give me a hand. We'll take him over to Doc Fabrique's.
And the jail, Mr. Creel.
Get in there.
What's happened?
Got a more important customer. Got to turn you out.
You are not quitting on me, are you, Marshal? What about that mob outside?
Anna cleared you, Casa. She's waiting inside. Go on, get in there.
Yeah. What about that mob outside, Earp? They're liquored up and they're carrying a rope.
You ought to know. You gave it to them. Yeah, listen. They're sure hankering for a horse thief.
You're not going to let him come in and get me, are you, Earp?
No. That'd still be murder, Mr. Creel.
What are you going to do?
Guess I'll just have to sleep another night in jail. Good night.
Well, he cleaned up the country, the old Wild West country. He made law and order prevail. And none can deny it, the legend of Wyatt forever will live on the trail. Oh, Wyatt Earp!